children, and welcome to another episode of Reading to My Angels. Remember, all the books I have here, I have acquired from my local library. You too are entitled to a local library card, and all you have to do is take mommy and daddy up there and sign you up for one, and you can have access to all the wonderful books I'm going to read to you today. Today's book is called Letters from Obedience School to Dear Miss LaRue. How many of you have dogs out there? Real dogs. Some of you may have play dogs. But if you have a real dog, sometime that dog isn't obedient. So you have to do what? You have to send them to obedience school. Here we have a wonderful dog that wasn't doing quite well at home, and he had to go to obedience school. And in going to obedience school, he wrote his wonderful owner some great letters. Well, let's go ahead and get into this book today, shall we? Remember, today's book is Letters from Obedience School, written and illustrated by Mark Teague. Let us begin. September 30th, the Short City Register Gazette. Local dog enters obedience school. Ike LaRue. Citing a long list of behavior problems, Snort City resident Gertrude R. LaRue yesterday enrolled her dog Ike in the Igor Brotweiler Canine Academy, established in 1953. The academy has a history of dealing with such issues. I'm at my wit's end, said Miss LaRue. I love Ike, but I'm afraid he's quite spoiled. He steals food right off the kitchen counter, chases the neighbor's cat, howls whenever I'm away. And last week, while I was crossing the street, he pulled me down and tore my best camel's hair coat. I just don't know what else to do. School officials were unavailable for comment. Dear Miss LaRue, October 1st. How could you do this to me? This is a prison, not a school. And you should see the other dogs. They are bad dogs. Miss LaRue, I do not fit in. Even the journey here was a horror. I am very unhappy and may need something to chew on when I get home. Please come get me right away. Sincerely, Ike. Dear Miss LaRue, October 2nd. Were you really so upset about the chicken pie? You know you might have discussed it with me. You could have said, Ike, don't eat the chicken pie. I'm saving it for dinner. Would that have been so difficult? It would have prevented a lot of hard feelings. Needless to say, I'm being horribly mistreated. You say I should be patient and accept that I'll be here through the term. Are you aware that the term lasts 2 months? Do you know how long that is in dog years? Sincerely, Ike. Dear Miss LaRue, October 3rd. I'd like to clear up some misconceptions about the Hibbins cat. First, they are hardly the little angels Miss Hibbins makes them out to be. Secondly, how should I know what they were doing out on the fire escape in the middle of January? They were being a bit melodramatic, don't you think? The way they cried and refused to come down, it's hard to believe they were really sick for 3 whole days. But you know cats. Your dog, Ike. Dear Miss LaRue, October 1st. You should see what goes on around here. The way warden, Miss Klondike barks orders is shocking. Day after day, I'm forced to perform at most meaningless tasks. Today it was sit and roll over. All day long, I flatly refuse to roll over. It's ridiculous. I won't do it. Of course, I was severely punished. And another thing, who will help you cross the street while I'm away? You know you have a bad habit of not looking both ways. Think of all the times I've saved you. Well, there was that one time anyway, I must say, you weren't very grateful, complaining on and on about the tiny rip in your ratty old coat. But the point is, you need me. Yours, Ike. Dear Miss LaRue, October 5th. The guards here are all caught up in this good dog, bad dog thing. I hear it constantly. Good dog, Ike. Don't be a bad dog, Ike. It's really so good to sit still like a lummox all day. Needless, nevertheless, I refuse to be broken. Miss Klondike has taken my typewriter. She claims it disrupts the other dogs. Does anybody care that the other dogs disturb me? Yours, Ike. Dear Miss LaRue, were the neighbors really complaining about my howling? It is hard to imagine. First, I didn't howl that much. You were always away those nights, so you wouldn't know. But trust me, it was quite moderate. Second, let's recall that these are the same neighbors who are constantly waking me in the middle of the afternoon with their loud vacuuming. I say we all have to learn to get along. My life here continues to be a nightmare. You wouldn't believe what goes on in the cafeteria. Sincerely, Ike. P.S. I don't want to alarm you, but the thought of escape has crossed my mind. Dear Miss LaRue, October 1st. I hate to tell you this, but I am terribly ill. It started in my paw, causing me to limp all day. Later, I felt queasy, so that I couldn't barely eat dinner, except for the yummy gravy. Then I began to moan and howl. Finally, I had to be taken to the vet. Dr. Wiley claims that he can't find anything wrong with me, but I am certain I have an awful disease. I must come home at once. Honestly yours, Ike. Ike's really trying to get home. Have you ever felt sick to keep from going to school? I wonder. Dear Miss LaRue, thank you for the lovely get well card. Still, I'm a little surprised that you didn't come get me. I know what Dr. Riley says, but it is really wise to take risks with one's health. I could have a relapse, you know. With fall here, I think about all the fine times we used to have in the park. Remember how sometimes you would bring along a tennis ball? You would throw it and I would retrieve it every time, except for once when it landed in something nasty and I brought it back a stick instead. And how I miss those days. Yours truly, Ike. P.S. Imagine how awful it is for me to be stuck inside my tiny cell. P.S. P.S. I still feel pretty sick. Dear Miss LaRue, October 9th. By the time you read this, I will be gone. I have decided to attempt a daring escape. I'm sorry it has to come to this, since I'm really a very good dog, but frankly, you left me no choice. How sad it is not to be appreciated. From now on, I'll wander from town to town without a home or even any dog food. Most likely, such is the life of a desperate outlaw. I will try to write to you from time to time as I carry on with my life of hardship and danger. Your lonely fugitive, Ike. Uh-oh, he made the newspaper again. The Snout City Register Gazette, October 10th. LaRue escapes doggy detention. Former Snout City resident Ike LaRue escaped last night from the dormitory at the Igor Bratwalla Academy. The dog is described as a toothy by local police. His current whereabouts are unknown. To be honest, I thought he was bluffing when he told me he was planning to escape, said a visibly upset Gertrude R. LaRue. The dog's owner, Ike tends to be a bit melodramatic. You know. Now I can only pray that he'll come back. Asked if she would return Ike to the Broadwell Academy, Mr. LaRue said that she would have to wait and see. He's a good dog, basically, but he can be difficult. Poor little dog ran away. Dear Miss LaRue, October 11th, somewhere in America. I continue to suffer horribly as I roam this barren wasteland. Who knows where my wandering will take me now? Hopefully to some place with yummy food. Remember the special treats you used to make for me? I miss them. I miss our nice, comfy apartment, but mostly I miss you. Your sad dog. P.S. I even miss the Hibbins cat in a way. Snout City or Bust. Dear Miss LaRue, October 12th, still somewhere. The world is a hard and cruel place for a stray dog. You will scarcely believe the misery I've endured, so I have decided to return home. You may try to lock me up again, but that is a risk I must take, and frankly, even more than myself, I worry about you. You may not know it, Miss LaRue, but you need a dog, your misunderstood friend. Sometimes, boys and girls, we may not like our home situation, we may not like our school situation, but running away is never the answer because eventually you have to return. Ask any adult. You can never ever run from your problems or your mixed deeds because they will always find you out. And you can never ever run from yourself. Why? Because you'll always be with yourself. So remember, you don't learn anything else from me. Running away solves nothing. Let's get back into this wonderful book. He makes the papers once again. The Snow City Register Gazette, October 13th. Hero dog saves owner. Ike LaRue, until recently a student at the Igor Brockweiler Kennel Academy, returned to Snow City yesterday in dramatic fashion. In fact, he arrived just in time to rescue his owner, Gertrude R. LaTrue, of 2nd Avenue from an oncoming truck. Miss LaRue had made the trip downtown to purchase a new camel's hair coat. Apparently, she neglected to look both ways before stepping out into traffic. The daring rescue was witnessed by several onlookers, including patrolman Norton Simmerman. He rode right across 2 lanes of traffic to get to her. And Smitterman, it was really something. I haven't seen rolling like that since I left the police academy. Miss LaRue was unhurt in the incident, though her coat was badly torn. I don't care about that, she said. I'm just happy to have my Ike back home where he belongs. LaRue says she plans to throw a big party for the dog. All the neighbors will be there, and I'm going to serve Ike's favorite dish. I'll bet he can't wait to taste the chicken pie. Welcome home. Once again, children, today's book was Dear Miss LaRue, Letters from Obedience School. Humans don't get sent to obedience school, just dogs. But sometimes you may have to go away to boarding school or you may have to go away to military school, depending on your behavior. And there are other places that we send unruly young people. Remember, rules are put in place to help you. And sometimes you may need that extra nudge or that extra ability so you too can grow up to be a great adult. You will never escape rules and you will never ever be able to do all the time the things that you want to do. Life is about balance, and with that balance comes rules and order, and you have to be obedient. Remember, your parents are the first people you learn to listen to, and they try to enforce the rule with love and caring and kindness. But when you enter the big world of people outside your home, sometimes those rules aren't enforced with love and kindness. Remember, you can only worry about yourself, and you can only apply the rules in yourself. And last final thought. Remember that character is built when no one is looking. Obedience is something that you're responsible to do. Obedience is something that builds your character. And obedience is something that you really need to have. Remember, life isn't always fair, but the rules apply to all the people all the time. Once again, my name is Roger and welcome you. And I'd like to thank you for coming to another episode of Reading for My Angels. Remember, these books are at your local library. Just go and get one. And reading is fundamental. It creates wonderful memories and wonderful times. Everyone can sit down and read. Maybe turn off the TV sometime and pick up a good book because it'll build your vocabulary. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. And if it's nap time, have a great nap. I'll see you again. Remember to like, comment, and share. And you'll be notified every time a great, wonderful episode comes out of Reading to My Angels. Be well, my angels. I'll see you again on the other side of another great book. Goodbye.